Good afternoon. Today we will be discussing IBM supercomputer Watson. The topics we will cover are as follows. What makes IBM Watson so incredible? The real-world applications of Watson, current limits of IBM Watson, ethical and practical concerns, and my personal opinion and conclusion. So, why is IBM's Watson so incredible? Well, for starters, at the time it was created, it was definitely a first of its kind. People didn't think this kind of technology would be produced until years down the road, but it was here. Watson uses NLP, which stands for Natural Language Processing, that is a branch of artificial intelligence, or AI, that helps computer understand, interpret, and generate human language. It helps machines to read, listen, respond to human language. It also tries to understand the tone, meaning, and context. Different types of NPL are voice assistants like Alexa and Siri, chatbots on websites for services, and also apps that can translate language. However, for Watson, it can read massive amounts of unstructured text like journal articles and clinical notes. It can also understand questions that are presented in natural language. Watson incorporates machine learning in crucial stages in its processing. Reinforcement learning was used to help Watson engage in strategic gameplay for the game show Jeopardy! At the time this article was written by Croker, he stated that while natural language processing technologies is currently being used by Watson, researchers say that it might be some time before Watson's unique question to answering capabilities will help to sift through online ruse or other user-generated content. And this article was written back in 2011, so newer information has come about. For processing unstructured data, Watson gathers large amounts of text and multimedia and breaks it down. The type of media doesn't follow a set format. So like emails, social media posts, news articles, things like that. That is 80 to 90% of data is unstructured. So this is a big deal, and what makes Watson so incredible. So it utilizes NLP to analyze sentences, letter terms, and recognizes entities like people, places, positions, dates. So through NLP, Watson also tries to understand context, relationships, and intent, and it goes beyond just words. So it applies machine learning by learning patterns of data and improving its accuracy over time. So for real-world application, in the healthcare industry, IBM states that Watson X can help to reduce human error, assist clinicians, and provide patients services 24/7. In addition, Watson X can be implemented to help with information security, customer service, marketing, procurement, sales, and supply chain. Watson can also help with analyzing electronic health records, medical literature, thanks to its NLP technologies and machine learning capabilities. Healthcare is currently undergoing transformation driven by technological advancements, which to IBM is a shift towards value-based care and increasing focus on patient-centered approaches. For finance, Watson can help to detect fraud through pattern recognition. It can perform risk assessments and do automatic compliance check and reporting. For customer service for retails, Watson can be available 24/7 as a chatbot to handle customer inquiries. In addition, it can help to identify market trends and manage inventory and demand forecasting. The Watson of today can help to make product recommendations and analyze customer feedback on how companies can improve their services. So for the limitations when it comes to healthcare, so back when Watson was first established, it was going to be helping for the healthcare industry, cancer patients. The limitations of Watson were too grand that IBM ended up selling some of the parts of Watson for $1 billion to a different outside tech company. The vast amounts of data that needed to be interpreted and streamlined into one individual patient at the time was just too grand of a possibility. So back when they created Watson, the connection for all of the different healthcare portals and software that they were using for each patient was too big for Watson to handle, for individuals to input the information and then to streamline it to all of those different people receiving care. So when it comes to the NLP, sarcasm, emotion, and irony is a struggle for Watson. So the complexity of human reasoning and judgment is also hard for Watson to interpret and understand. Because Watson uses reinforcement learning, Watson can become biased to the data that it was given and may produce inaccurate or unfair outcomes if the data isn't diversified or neutral. So then that leads us to ethical implications of Watson and practical concerns. So when it comes to data, there is, always data privacy risks when dealing with sensitive information. Human judgment is crucial in critical decision making that AI could never replace. The information and data being inputted can force the machine learning technology to become biased and therefore can lead to false, unfair, or flawed outcomes. As far as I have researched on IBM's website, there is no overreaching legislation that regulates AI practices. There are some things in the works, and ethical frameworks have been emerged as part of a collaboration between researchers and ethicists. For some individuals, the impact that this can have on jobs is a concern. According to IBM's ethical page, some manufacturers like GM are shifting to electric vehicle production to align with green initiatives. Therefore, market demand for specific job roles can and will shift. So for my personal viewpoint, I don't have too many concerns. I do think that innovation is needed to continue moving us towards growth and advancements. When done right, I think pairing AI assistance with human roles and thoughts can be more effective than just the machine learning technology on its own, and vice versa for human learning and ideas on its own. So on the other hand, I don't think we should be switching machines or AIs for jobs that humans are able to do. Human involvement and interaction are important for our community and society. I think about the future, and if AI computers are doing everybody's job, then what is left for us to do or do for work to make a living? I think the only job would be working on AI computers then, because they aren't autonomous. So overall, I don't have any concerns. I mean, I do have concerns as far as replacing people for computers or machines, but I think adding them into our life can be a great advantage overall. So that was my presentation on Watson, and just going over the few limitations and what it's good at, and just my thoughts and concerns on it. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.